And we're back from a secret bunker somewhere in Alberta, Ontario.
That's right. I'm Hellhound.
I'm Spellbinder.
Welcome to
Cartoon
Discussions.
I mean, what?
What?
Huh? I don't know. And we're back with cartoons that we grew up with. Nickelodeon.
Specifically, yeah, we're going to start with Nickelodeon, and then next time we'll do Cartoon Network. Because Nickelodeon kind of came first, I think. I saw them first anyway. I'm pretty sure Nickelodeon was like in the early 90s. Cartoon Network was more like late 90s, early 2000s.
Technically, Cartoon Network started on TNT with like short cartoons on like Sunday.
Yeah.
Then they got its own channel.
Well, I'm not sure which channel started first, but like I know that like the whole Nicktoons versus cartoons. Yeah, I think Nicktoons were first. And I'm pretty sure they started with either Doug or Rugrats or maybe Ren and Stimpy.
I think Rugrats was 90 or 91, and Doug was right after that.
Yeah. I grew up with all of them, yeah.
Looking back on it, Doug's pretty boring.
Kinda, yeah. It doesn't hold up. I still love it, but it wasn't quite as fun, like, and humorous as some of the others. It was a little more, like...
Can we talk about how some of the people in that show were blue?
Blue, like green, purple, orange, red.
I'm trying to think they lived next to, like, a couple nuclear power plants.
Yeah. Skeeter was, like, dark green. Roger was, like, light green. Patty was, like, orangish.
What's her last name? Mayonnaise.
Thin truck. They all have weird last names. Skeeter Valentine, Doug Funny.
Roger Klotz.
Roger Klotz. Patty Mayonnaise.
What the fuck was with Chucky's hair? It was like,
Phoebe's.
it was coming from the back, like, forward. Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, I'd love to live in Bluffington. I'd love to live with, all the Doug characters. I'd love to live in that town.
His sister was, like, crazy.
A beatnik, yeah. What was her name? Pat? No, Judy, yeah.
I'm starting to think maybe it was, like, they were, like, part of some big experiment.
Maybe. Could be.
Because, like, I don't know. Like, Rugrats was another big, it's still on.
That was the longest running, I think. That was like 91 to like late 2000s.
Don't they have like another show on like TV right now?
They might, and then of course they went to All Grown Up, which was them terrible. As teenagers. Yeah, it wasn't nearly as good. They ran out of ideas.
It kept the voice actors consistent, but that's something.
Yeah.
It didn't help it at all.
Yeah. Christine Cavana, she voiced Chucky, right? Chucky Finster, and didn't she also voice Ablina in Real Monsters? I think she died. Yeah, she died. And
Kat Sose did, like... She was in every one of these cartoons, though.
Yeah, pretty much. What's the chick's name that talks for Tommy?
Ashley, damn it.
She was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and she's also in Devil's Rejects. And,
she was in Devil's Rejects?
Yeah, she played one of his prostitutes.
Huh.
With, Charlie Altamont, one of his prostitutes, the one that gets shot in the head by... Unholy too, Billy Ray Snapper.
I didn't know that. My personal two favorite cartoons was Rocko's Modern Life and Ren and Stimpy, just because like they were so vastly different than like
they were ahead of their time.
People don't really notice or mention like Rocko's Modern Life took a lot of stuff from like the Tex Avery cartoons, like the reactions, the way people get beaten up. It's like,
Rocko and Ren and Stimpy were like more adult, and I actually enjoy Rocko's Modern, especially Ren and Stimpy. That show was not for kids in a lot of ways. Wow, did they push it back in the 90s. Now, Rocko's Modern Life, I think, deals a lot of adult themes. There's a lot of things I enjoy more as an adult, like working in a big company and like going to the store and going to the laundromat. Like they a lot of things that were satired was something you do like as an adult. Like it wasn't really for kids. Rocko and Filbert and Heifer would do things like it was like a normal like day for an adult. Like I think it's more funnier, going shopping, going to the store and getting groceries. Things I didn't really do much, as a kid.
Having a giant shark dog chase you everywhere.
Yeah, that happened all the time now as an adult. It never happened when I was a kid.
Was he being experimented on, or was he the result of an experiment?
I think it was a result of an experiment. Didn't he get sent to space and then an alien came down?
I knew that the Big Heads had him, like Mr. Big Head like finally got rid of him.
Yeah, he was nice to Miss Big Head and Mr. Big Head.
One of my favorite things was like when Heifer was sick, like Mr. Big Head, like when I was the handsomest man in O-Town.
Oh yeah, he looks so different.
And he gets tossed into a blender and cuts on.
Yeah. They had some really adult themed stuff, like the one where Mrs. Big Head tries to seduce Rocko. And then where Rocko works as a phone sex operator, but he's like, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. And then him and Heifer check into a no-tell motel.
Heifer!
Yeah. And then when they're like in camping or whatever, and he grabs some berries in a bush, and you see a bear covering his crotch. He's like, ah! It's like, there was a lot of adult stuff in that car. And then what pisses me off is in the DVD that I had, That shit's censored. They
I
cut
know.
that stuff out.
But you don't see anything.
It's like, so I was okay watching this when I was a kid on TV, on public television. Now when I'm an adult, I own it on DVD, I'm not allowed to see it. That sucks. But yeah, I love Rocco. My top two favorites are probably Rocco and All Real Monsters. Looks like somebody let the dog in. And SpongeBob SquarePants is probably a lot of people's favorite. That came later.
It doesn't count.
Yeah, that was a little later. I'm
It
talking
came
about
out in
the early
99,
Nicktoons.
right at the end of the...
And just to clarify, this is the Nickelodeon video. We're talking about mostly about 90s Nickelodeon. I know that it existed in some form in the 70s and 80s, and there were some good shows there too. I think it might have been called something different, but we're talking about the 90s Nicktoons, not the live action shows like Legend of the Hidden Temple or Are You Afraid of the Dark? Even though those were awesome, but we're mostly going to focus on the cartoons.
Yeah, like Ren and Stimpy though, like
Go on.
if you shoot, ow.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy was like the most adult of all. That was like.
Yeah, except when
It
they
was
brought it
just
back
gross.
as an actual adult party cartoon, it wasn't as funny.
Yeah, it wasn't as
It wasn't
good.
clever anymore.
Well, they fired John Crickfalusi, the creator. He was the creator of the show. It was his show. He got fired from his own show. He voiced Ren and Stimpy. And then I guess Billy West voiced both of them,
I
right?
thought Billy West voiced both of them on the actual cartoon itself.
Well, yeah, but originally John Crickfalusi voiced Ren, and Billy West voiced Stimpy.
Oh, you mean the
but then-
original cartoon?
Yeah, but then
I was
when
thinking
John
something else.
Crickfalusi got fired, Billy West started voicing.
Shoot.
Sorry about that. I guess
As you see, wild animals can't get in.
Yeah, I guess my dog
We
would
need
get the
to fix
video
that
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Right.
if you pay attention, like some of the songs, like the Happy Happy Joy Joy songs, like he's like, "I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs."
Yeah.
Like, "I'll shoot you. I
They
told
really
you I'd do
pushed
it.
They-
Why do you believe me?"
They put a lot in it. They really got away with a lot back then. It
My
was so
favorite,
much less PC than it is
my
now.
favorite was like a yard too far. We're like, check, there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
dog. It's like, there's no dog. Like, there's no dog, but there's a baboon. And like when Stimpy leaves, he replaces him with the baboon. Like, baboon,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna slap you. Like he's trying not to.
What was the episode with the
four
skinny
times
dipping?
Because it's like 4 times this size.
Oh my god. There's the skinny dipping episode. And then one that was really disturbing was when Ren had like that son who's made of, what was he made of?
Egg Yokio.
Yeah, and then Egg Yokio, and then Egg Yokio, and then Stimpy
Stimpy.
ate him. It was like bye daddy or something. It was really disturbing, really gross, really sick show, man.
One of the
Who else
ones
was
that
it?
like really like made me think was like Space Madness.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They did a bunch of space episodes.
They
This
did.
one was like where he's slowly going crazy. Was like really clever. And
And then the one where like they were going to be put down like in the pound, but then some old lady saves them, and then Ren is trying to wake up what he thinks is her other pet dog. It turns out the dog is stuffed, like she had him stuffed.
I don't remember
What was his
that.
name? Ezekiel.
I remember that little girl like
Hi,
tried to get
Ezekiel.
Ren, but then like he either changed his mind or tried to get take Stimpy too. I don't remember.
You idiot! Yeah, Ren's voice was based on, of course, Peter Lorre, and Stimpy's voice was based on Larry Fine from the Three Stooges.
I do like how like when
Yeah,
they
Ren.
were doing like the fan mail to Stimpy, like someone thought like Ren was an insect, and it made him so mad.
Gosh. Yeah, Rocko's Modern Life, Tom Kenny, who voiced Heifer.
Charlie Adler did like most of the voices on that show.
Well, yeah, he did Mr. and Mrs. Big Head, and then like a lot of the like guest characters, like the socks in the that laundromat episode, or the laundromat episode, the socks that steal Rocco, so Rocco's clothes. I think they were all voiced by Charlie Adler, or at least one of them was.
Can we talk about how like Heifer worked for like Darth Vader, like mowing grass on the
Yeah.
golf course?
And he was raised by wolves. His family were all wolves, and he was.
I like that joke. Like he
Interesting.
didn't realize he was adopted.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we weren't gonna eat him, but then we came to love him. We changed our mind. One of the worst part, like they're eating that. I think it's a moose, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
his dad's got the heart in his mouth. It's like it's still beating. He takes the scissors, like cuts the cord.
Yeah, it was really
Oh my God.
graphic. Oh, fish sticks. I'm nauseous.
One
I
of
love
my
the Halloween episode.
one of my favorite is like the Filbert's diary. They think he's an alien.
Oh, yeah. And things keep happening to make them think that.
Why use deodorant when mustard is free?
Yeah, I really enjoyed Doug as a kid. Doug was a good show, but it's one of those shows that I can't get into as much as an adult. Whereas with Rocco, I enjoyed even more as an adult. I
Because
think
you
it deals
understand
with, it deals with more with real world issues, real world like themes. Like there's more adult theme there, I think, in my opinion. But with Doug and even Rugrats, I don't enjoy quite as much as an adult. I still think it's a good show. I love Reptar and
that candy bar is overpriced.
It's delicious though.
But
those things are banging. I've got a bunch of them in my closet
not
right
for
now.
$3. It's not.
Yeah, but well, they did have a sale. Like they were $2, and you got 3 of them free. Buy one get one free, and that was awesome. I was all about that.
How do they eat those? How do they eat those with no teeth?
The purple cream one. Yeah, that's a good question. And the cereal, Reptar cereal. Reptar, obviously inspired by Godzilla. For those who, if you're
apparently
clueless.
It's popular enough. He keeps making movies when he can't even talk.
I know. Yeah, there's like a few like kind of mature themes on Rugrats too, like with Chucky's mom, and then like there's a few other things that I thought were kind of.
His grandma gets a move for when they go to bed.
Oh yeah, and then remember the one where they rent the movies, and then the grandpa says,
"That's the one."
Yeah. He says, "These are for after you go to bed, you sport or whatever."
Oh God.
Oh yeah, I love Rugrats, man.
Yeah.
It kind of went on a little too long, and I think when they made the Rugrats movie, they introduced Dill, Tommy's younger brother, and then
it worked out.
It was good for a while. Then
the second time it didn't.
Chucky's stepsister got added to the cast.
That was weird.
Yeah, I forget her name.
Kimmy. She's Japanese.
Yeah. And then it started getting kind of weird after that. Like they kind of, I don't know. I think they kind of ran out of steam. And then All Grown Up was, I don't know, it just wasn't the same.
It wasn't very good.
It was an interesting idea.
It's like we were in junior high at the time, and
yeah, probably around there. Yeah, and then all right, let's move on. What's Our Real Monsters?
Oh yeah,
that was a very unique show because
that's a Charlie Adler show altogether.
Yeah. He voiced Ickis.
He voiced most of the characters on the show.
He voiced Ickis. Greg Berger voiced.
He voiced Ickis.
Grumble.
The Grumble. No, Charlie Adler did the Grumble.
That's what everybody thinks. It was actually Greg Berger.
I
thought that too. I thought it was the same actor. Because they sound so similar.
And he also did what's the name of that guy? Is the monster owner? I can't.
Simon,
yeah. Yeah, him too. Was like.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably. Christine Cavana did Ablina. But I thought that it was the same. The Grumble, what a great character! Like he actually Greg Berger based his voice off of the Blue Meanie from Yellow Submarine, the Chief Blue Meanie, kind of like him from Powerpuff Girls. That was obviously inspired by the Chief. And Mark Hamill actually voiced this the Joker, based his voice off the Chief Blue Meanie. So
I know that.
Inspirational, yeah. But yeah, the Grumble was a great character. He was funny. I think Ickis is probably my favorite character.
This had a lot more like kind of gross out humor than Ren and Stimpy. Like they'd reach in their mouths, pull out their guts.
Yeah, pull out guts and eat bugs and stuff. But it was a unique show because there wasn't like a lot of human characters. I mean, not that there wasn't Rocco either. They're all
there's that kid.
Simon. Or
those other monster hunters.
Costume like Ickis.
He actually had to team up with Simon to take down.
My only complaint is that there wasn't a whole lot of focus on any other monsters. It was always Ickis, Krullablina, and then
maybe like one other added into like a gag right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like the other ones just showed up like sporadically. It was weird because I had the toys when I was little, and like
there was toys.
They had Ickis.
I had the Sega Genesis game.
Me too. I got a Super Nintendo. I was actually just playing that the other day. But aside from the 4 main cast, all the rest of the toys of the monsters weren't even on the show at all because the guy who made them designed these monster toys, and somebody said, "Oh, we should make them our real monsters." So he painted them differently, and then he made toys of the 4 main cast. So all the toys that I had weren't even from the show. There was like a squid that turned into an eyeball creature. Then there was like this green hairy monster that ate bugs, and like then they had the 4 main. They looked totally different. Like that's my only complaint is that there should have been like more monster characters, like more recurring characters that are more fleshed out.
The only real recurring character we get is like the lava lamp.
Yeah, the lump.
I don't know why they like it so much. It doesn't make any sense.
It's weird because, Ickis can turn, his eyes turn red, he turns all giant.
Yeah.
There's so many times where he could have done that, and it would have got him out of, certain situations, but, he didn't think of it until, the very end. He'd be in, a situation, then finally he'd think, oh, I like
how, he wants to cut corners, so, he gets this kid of stuff that people are afraid of.
Yeah.
And then he tries to do it at the circus, and it all fails, and, the lion tamer thinks he's actually Santa Claus, and he gets mad and thinks he's the Easter Bunny.
Oh, yeah. And that magic episode, that was weird. It was like a dream. He went in the magician's hat. Yeah, he went in the magician's hat. And the woman who got cut in half was, walking on her hand. She was just, the upper torso.
It's been a long time since I watched that.
Yeah. I got it on DVD.
Did that actually end, or was it canceled?
I can't. So it ran for 4 seasons, I believe, just like Rocco did. They had like the exact same number of episodes too, just about. But I think probably the best Nickelodeon show, at least in my opinion,
Angry Beavers.
That's a good one too. Yeah, because I love Norbert and Daggett. They're hilarious. They have great chemistry together. And Richard Steven Horvitz is like one of my favorite voice actors of all time. He's awesome. Then Nick Baquet,
who was Salem on
who
Sabrina.
voices Norbert.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's also Salem on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Who? Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. And then they had great chemistry together. I'd like to see them like on a show, like just together. Like they should always be together because they had good chemistry. And I love that they always watch old B movies, like old like.
That's my favorite episode. Like he's eating spicy food, like
yeah. The killer leeches. There's just like Attack of the Giant Leeches and like the spleen with the thumb.
I like how like they're so B, like Oxnard Montalvo, like he pauses like Jane,
Oxnard,
look out.
Look, it's coming for you. Yeah. And then there's that creature from like that Black Lagoon looking thing that talked like Christopher Walken. It's like, that's my movie. I'd like to have it back. It's unfortunate news.
Those two scientists, like, eventually gets where one was mutated
into a beaver. Yeah,
he's got this giant hand,
monster hand.
Like, what the? I think that was.
I love that show.
That was their last appearance, wasn't it? Or
I
did
believe
they come
probably one of them. That was one of the last great Nicktoons. But no, my favorite. Well, maybe not my number one favorite, but like my favorite of like kind of the mid '90s was definitely Hey Arnold. Now that was a groundbreaking show. Craig Bartlett did a phenomenal job with that. I think it was more mature. It dealt with more realistic adult themes, but it was very enjoyable for kids too. And what a colorful cast of characters. You got, of course, Arnold, Gerald, Helga, who's one of the most complex and unique cartoon characters ever created. Sid.
I got a feeling that they're all like mentally retarded and are in like a special class or something. Because like, look at his head.
Well,
no normal person is like that.
Yeah, there's that theory that Arnold. There's some weird name, something.
The theory is that his grandparents are really
his real parents, but the Jungle movie totally disproved that.
I didn't see it,
so you should see it. It's pretty good. I can't believe they actually brought
like.
it back.
Would you
But
pay
a lot of
money
the
to see
original
it?
voices. Oh yeah, I saw it on TV, but I loved the ending. I will not dare spoil it, but boy was I pleased with the ending. I didn't think they were going to go that route, but yeah, I love the grandpa. He's voiced by Dan Castellaneta, who is Homer Simpson, of course. The grandpa's a great character. I love all the scary episodes, like with
the train,
the
ghost at the end.
Yeah, the headless cabbie.
How's he playing like an accordion?
Yeah, I don't know.
One arm.
And then what's that weird kid, Brainy or whatever? Watching. Yeah, the ghostly engineer, and then the headless cabbie, Four-Eyed Jack, Wheezing Ed or whatever. The ghost. What do they call it? The Ghost Bride. I think what she was called. That was one of the later episodes. That was one of the last ones.
Wasn't
Curly? He was a great character.
Wasn't Christopher Walken like the Pigeon Man? Or was it Dennis Hopper?
Wait a minute.
I think it was Dennis.
I think it was some kind of big name celebrity.
I think it might have been Dennis Hopper or.
It was somebody. It was some like big name. It was some like big name. I believe. Yeah, they always ran into like these weird characters like the Pigeon Man and Monkey Man and that author who became like a miserable, crabby old lady. The grandma, that was a great character too. She was hilarious. Like she was young. She acted younger than any of the
she's got, like,
children, the kids.
Thanksgiving, like 4th of July. Like,
yeah.
Well, look at that on 4th of July. My grandma thinks it's Christmas.
It wouldn't be Thanksgiving without fireworks. Yeah, I love all the scary episodes. And yeah, Helga was a great character. Some argue that it's actually her show because she was kind of the most. She actually had the most character. like episodes starring her than anybody else. Pretty much. And Arnold, God, what a great guy. What a Boy Scout. He was just a saint. He was always going out of his way to help people. There needs to be more people like Arnold. Be an Arnold. And everyone revealed his last name.
I do like how when he loses the watch, they edited it for TV. It aired the first time, then they changed where he loses watch. Okay, get a quart of milk, he flips while he's going out, they change just one finger.
Helga hates Arnold so much, and she's so mad at him, so mean to him, but then she loves him at the same time. He keeps a weird, creepy, disturbing stalker shrine in her closet made of all these weird things.
How did her parents never find
that locket? Yeah, good question.
I guess her mom's an alcoholic.
Oh yeah, Craig Bartlett definitely intended for her mom, Miriam Pataki, to be an alcoholic.
Voice
that
by
was
Cat
so
Still
obvious. Yeah. That was so obvious. Remember the throwing stuff away? Oh, let's throw the smoothie maker away. She's like, no, and she grabs it and runs away. And she's always in bed. Yeah, she was definitely and alcohol. I actually worked for a lady who reminded me a lot of Helga's mom. She looked and acted just like her. It was really weird.
Yeah, but like, when she takes over like Bob's business, she does a whole 180.
Yeah. I always thought for years that Bob, Helga's dad, was voiced by Clancy Brown.
He isn't?
No, it's actually Maurice LaMarche who voiced Egon in the Real Ghostbusters cartoon.
I did not know that.
I know. I thought it was Clancy Brown for years, who voices Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob. Yeah, SpongeBob and like Cat Dog, like those came a little later. I was already like getting older. I was like almost an adult well, not an adult. I was like a teenager when they came out, and like when they were on most of the time, and like those were kind of later. I never really got into Cat Dog. I thought it was kind of funny.
Cat Dog's the only one that actually like, aside from Doug, like actually had a movie that ended the show. On a high note.
Yeah, and well, Hey Arnold had a movie too, Harold the movie, but it wasn't
Harold the movie. What?
Hey Arnold the movie.
Oh.
But it wasn't that great. Jungle Movie was way better, which was recently, which is awesome. Built on nostalgia, much like we're doing right now. But yeah, Cat Dog was okay. I thought it was good. SpongeBob was good too. That's still on TV now. It's still running. It's like one of the longest running animated shows ever, right up there with The Simpsons and the Flintstones and stuff. SpongeBob, I think, got a little stale. I enjoyed it when it first came on, but I said I was getting older.
It started to go downhill when
cartoons as much anymore.
It started to go downhill when after the movie they fired the whole team and brought in new people for it.
Oh, yeah, different writers and stuff. But it's still the same cast, Tom Kenny and Bill Fagerbakke and Clancy Brown and Doug Lawrence, who voices Plankton. He voiced Filbert on Rocco. So did we leave any out? Did we?
I don't think so.
I know there's got to be something. But yeah, we're just talking about the cartoons again. We're not going to talk about Legends of Hidden Temple or Salute Your Shorts or any of that. We're just going to talk about cartoons. Closer explains it all.
I did like Legend of Hidden Temple.
Huh?
I did like Legend.
I loved it. I used to watch Closer Explains It All too.
Nick Arcade
was awesome. Kablam that was on Nickelodeon, right? Yeah. Kablam. Yeah.
Kablam was good.
Yeah,
like Action League Now.
All that was good, but again, we're just talking about cartoons.
I do like how like some of the things on like Kablam got their own TV show. Like Action League Now got one. Life of Loopy got one.
Anaconda did too. Yeah, Life of Loopy. And Kablam was a good show. I don't hear too many people talk about that. That was kind of underrated. I wish they put it on DVD. If they haven't already.
It's basically a TV show in a comic book.
Yeah.
Where they actually turn the pages for the cartoon.
Pretty much. The Offbeats, was that in Kablam, or was that just like shown in between? Yeah, remember, they cool, they Offbeats. Like, I think they just showed that in between cartoons. Like, it was just like a short.
I think it was just like commercials.
Probably. But yeah, once it got to, then there's Animorphs, another live action one, but
that didn't go very far.
Yeah, it didn't go far. Once it got to the Wild Thornberrys and Rocket Power, like I was already getting older and I wasn't really watching cartoons anymore. Yeah, it wasn't
Tim Curry carried that show.
Oh yeah, he was as Nigel Thornberry is like easily the best character. But then again, Tim Curry can make anything.
I did watch Rocket Power all the way through, so it was okay.
It was good. I liked Tito. He was a good character. I was in a band with this drummer who looked and talked just like Tito. And I always called him Tito. I was like, okay, Tito. Yeah, he was cool. Yeah, Rocket Power was good in the Wild Thornberrys, but I was getting older. I wasn't really watching.
But now when you go back to Rocket Power, you can see it's dated.
Oh yeah, big time.
But it was coming out when like skateboarding was getting big again.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that was kind of a thing. When I think of the '90s, I think of like skateboarding and listening to a radio against like a brick wall with graffiti on it, and like reading comic books. I don't know, for some reason it just makes me think of that. And, yeah, Rocket Power was very '90s, even though it was like kind of like the '90s was coming to an end. And Wild Thornberrys had Lacey Chabert, who voiced Eliza, and then her sister Debbie was voiced by Danielle Harris, who's best known from the Halloween movies.
Really?
Which was in the Hatchet movies. Yeah.
And they had Flea.
Yeah, Flea voiced Donnie. Yeah, I forget who voiced Darwin.
I don't know. I think we should wrap this up.
Vader Zim.
That
was later. I was getting older.
I hate that show.
I don't hate it. I just think it's a little overrated. I like the show. I wish they'd bring it back. I like watching it. I just think it was like, everybody always, whenever I talk about Nickelodeon, people always say, oh, Vader Zim, that was the best show ever. Oh my god, I have Vader Zim t-shirts. It was good, but it wasn't as good. It's not as good as Rocko's Modern Life or Real Monsters or Angry Beavers or Hey Arnold or hell, even Rugrats or Doug. In my
opinion. Better than Doug.
Yeah, okay. Granted. I'll give you that. Yeah.
But everything's better than Doug.
Well, it was created by Jonan Vasquez, who did the Johnny the Homicidal Maniac comic book.
They need a cartoon
which is
for
awesome.
that.
Yes, they do. Or make it into a movie or something. And he's a very creative guy. He's brilliant. He's got great ideas. It was a really memorable show, but I just think that, like, I don't know, like, I remember Hot Topic had, like, Invader Zim stuff all over the place. People were like, Invader Zim ended. A lot of the goth people were all like, Invader Zim ended. Oh, my life is over. And
Yeah.
come on, it's a fucking... There was better cartoons than that.
Yeah.
I'm not bashing it. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying it's not as good as the other Nicktoons that came before. And I was already older. That was like... Wasn't it like in the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like... That came later with, with Wild Thornberrys and Rocket Power, Cat Dog, and even SpongeBob, which, again, I was already older and kind of getting out of the cartoons.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we at least name-dropped, like, all my favorite ones. There was probably a few others. Jimmy Neutron, that was later. Fairly Odd Parents was good. They had some good ideas, but again, that was
I like Jimmy Neutron
later.
better when it was like just little shorts.
Yeah, when they first started
The movie was okay.
Yeah, the movie is kind of what started. Like, they had the shorts, and they had the movie, then it became a show. Sheen was a good character.
Planet Sheen is better than everybody thinks it is.
Is it? Yeah, I never really watched it. There were some failed shows, like Cousin Skeeter. I don't think that really lasted long.
I watched that.
I kind of remember liking it.
He's a puppet.
Yeah. Secret World of Alex Mack was another live action one. Trying to focus most on the cartoons, but there was a lot of good shows. Yeah, I think we at least mentioned them all.
All right.
Well, next time we'll talk about Chalk Zone. That was another one.
Oh yeah, Chalk. That was after Nicktoons was over.
Yeah. And, what was that other one? Whatever Happened to Robot Jones? Was that Nickelodeon or was that Cartoon Network?
Cartoon Network.
That's right. All right, well, next time we'll talk about Cartoon Network. We'll cover Johnny Bravo, Courage the Cowardly Dog, all that stuff.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that's going to be even more fun. But Long Live Nicktoons are a huge, very important, integral part of my childhood. Who knows?
And now we got to close that hole before Bear gets in. So
that's right.
We'll see you later.
Peace.